Hey folks, welcome to Fyreflye's Follies. I hope you enjoy the video today. If you do, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. So today I am canning my version of red beans. There is a restaurant called Cheddars. Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, Cheddar's Casual Cafe, depending on where you're at. And they make the best red beans I've ever had. I haven't quite gotten this exact, but this is pretty close to their red beans. So I'm canning some today. I thought I'd bring you along and show you what I do. Now, let me give this disclaimer. This is not an instructional video. This is for entertainment purposes only. Canning dry beans is not recommended by the National Center for Home Food Preservation. I believe in my kitchen, my rules. I've done my research and I'm comfortable doing it this way. I always suggest that you do the research and do what works for you in your kitchen. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I have sanitized my jars. They've been through the dishwasher cycle and they are at room temperature. Everything is at room temperature. My canner has the proper amount of water in it. I've checked the seal, I've checked the vents. Everything's in good working order. It is not on. It is also at room temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer my ingredients. I'm going to move some of these until I'm ready for them. So I'm starting with 1/3 cup of red beans. Now, when I say 1/3 cup, I'm talking about a level 1/3 cup. It's not heaping. These are going to swell, so you don't want them to overswell your jar. And a little tip for you, when you get your beans, when you buy your beans, bring them home, look through them, make sure there are no little pebbles in them, put them in a jar. When you're canning, if you're canning something that is a meat product and you don't have enough to fill your canner, fix yourself a jar or two of beans to finish filling it because it cans at the same amount of time as meat. And if you dry can the beans, the no-soak method, then you just put 1/2 cup in for a pint or a cup in for a quart and level. Don't put a heaping cup. Fill it with the broth or the liquid of your choosing. Put it in with your meat, and when your meat comes out, your beans are done too. I do a lot of small batch canning, so I don't like to run less than at least one full layer in my canner. And I am using the small red beans. That's what I like for my red beans. But you can use whatever you like. I think we're going to have just enough. Okay. So, we have 1/3 cup of beans. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of finely diced smoked sausage. And you can use the smoked sausage that you like. I'm not a brand person. I'm not going to tell you what kind to use. This is just a mild smoked sausage. You can leave the sausage out if you choose to. I think it gives these an amazing flavor. Now, I'm going to add a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. Now, you can use whatever Cajun seasoning you prefer. Zatarain's is good. Tony, I'm going to butcher the name, Shashiri makes a really good one. I make my own. And then I'm going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic to each jar. Now, you can do a clove, 1/2 clove. You can substitute garlic powder. I happen to have some minced garlic on hand. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of onion to each jar. now I'm going to add about a teaspoon each of very finely chopped celery and very finely chopped bell pepper. Now, you can use green bell pepper. I personally do not care for green bell pepper, so I have some tricolored peppers here that I'm going to put in. And it's just 1 teaspoon to each jar. And now I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon each of cumin and parsley. And I'm using dried parsley. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to top them up to a 1-inch headspace, and I'm going to debubble and then level them up if they need a little more water added to them once I debubble. Okay, now that I have them all filled, debubbled, and topped up, I have a small bowl of white vinegar and a piece of paper towel. I am just going to take this and I'm going to go around the rims to make sure I clean them. Now, this serves 2 purposes. When I'm getting my jars ready, I check the rims for any nicks or bumps or anything that might interfere with the seal. And then when I'm going over them to clean them, this gives me a second pass just to make sure that nothing has happened to them since I checked them, and to make sure that I didn't miss anything when I was checking them. And this also cleans anything off the rim that might interfere with your seal. Alright, we are pressure canning, so we don't need to heat our lids. So I'm going to put my lids on. I'm going to put my rings on finger tight. I'm going to get these loaded into the canner. Now I'm going to bring it up to a full steam, and once it vents for 10 minutes, I'm going to put the weight on and I'll bring them up to pressure and let them process for 75 minutes. Once that 75 minutes is up, I'll shut the heat off and let them come down naturally, and once we get to there, I will bring you back and show you how they turned out. Okay, so I brought my canner up to a full steam and I let it vent for 10 minutes. Then I brought it up to pressure and I let it process for 75. I turned the heat off and let it come down off of pressure naturally. Then I set the lid kind of askew and let them cool for about 5 minutes, and then I took the lid off. It's been about 5 minutes, and I've heard some of them seal in the canner. So now let's get them out, take a look, and see how they turned out. I'll get them all out and then I'll lift one up so that you can see. So you can see the sausage bits and the little bits of vegetables that are floating in there. They're still bubbling away. The beans are fully cooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these sitting for about 24 hours. Tomorrow I'll come back, I'll take off the rings, I'll check all the seals, I'll wash the jars, label them, and put them in my pantry. And these are good for a couple of years. This is enough to last me a good year. I typically try to can about a year's worth at a time. I really hope that you enjoy the video today. If you do, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. If you hit the notification bell, YouTube will notify you when I upload a new video based on your settings. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.